6:09 here on Breakfast Television. It's time for Election Connection as the election rapidly approaches. I think it's officially 2 months.
No, under that.
No, it's about 8 weeks. We'll say 8 weeks. 8 weeks, right?
Needless to say, it is now around the corner, and I started to see the Liberals, I believe, rolled out some of their ads, and you're going to start to see more of the attack ads
and getting
whatnot.
serious. And see how it'll be interesting to see how ugly it gets.
Yeah. And
Hopefully
the thing
not.
is, a lot of people are still kind of rolling their eyes, still saying they have the 8 weeks, 2 months to go. And many people, and I've talked to some of them, who've said, I'm not sure if I want to vote. We've had this conversation before.
Which drives me insane because, I know we've talked about this, and it's like, well, if you don't want to vote, go decline your ballot. Like, take the time to go and say, I'm not going to vote for any of those people. Otherwise, you just look lazy because the numbers back it up. A lot of people aren't voting, and it's been on a steady decline over the last 15 or 20, 25 years now. I'm trying to look at some of the numbers here. 2008 was the lowest turnout for voter turnout at 56.5%, and it's been below 70 since 1993. So 25 years of declining numbers.
So here's the question. Why don't you want to vote? We talked to a professor and asked what the psychology is behind it. Why you think there's no point in voting for some.
Yeah, John McAndrews from U of T.
So people are busy. Rush to work, rush home, pick up the kids, get food on the table. It's easy to conclude that you're too busy to take an active interest in politics. But I think 3 myths hold some people back from a more active interest in how they're governed. Myth number 1 is that parties all promise the same thing. This is not true. While for some issues, on some policies, parties will promise similar things, on different issues, there will be different promises, and if implemented, those promises will have different consequences for your pocketbook, your kids, and your community. Myth number 2 is that politicians routinely break the promises. So even if they promise different things, still doesn't matter. This is also a myth. Political scientists at Laval have looked into whether or not politicians keep their promises, and the numbers will surprise you. A high number of promises get kept. So hopefully at this point I've convinced you that who wins matters. Myth number 3 is that politics is too complicated. This is partly true in the sense that we all have to sift through competing claims, what's right, what's wrong, and so forth. But you don't have to do it alone. The media is here to provide you with important background information to make these decisions. Number 2, you can ask colleagues and friends, co-workers who might share your values and know a little bit more about politics. And then number 3, there are online tools available close to the election. Colleagues at Vox Pop Labs will roll out Vote Compass to help you figure out how your preferences map to party promises.
So excuses out the window.
Yeah, and
get out and vote now.
That he said that a lot of these leaders do keep some of these promises.
That one was fascinating.
Yeah, we both actually looked at each other and said,
really?
They do.
Well, I guess we're so used to getting they're hammering away at them that they didn't keep this promise, but forget that they did all these other promises that they maintained.
That's it. This is where you hold them accountable, right? So, as always, we can check out Election Connection every Monday as we head up to the ballot.